Welcome back to episode 64 of Teachers in Transition. My name is Kitty Boitnott, the owner and operator of Teachers in Transition and the owner of Boitnott Coaching. If you've listened to me before, you know that I alternate topics each week between stress management strategies, which are an extremely important part of self-care and day-to-day stress management. And on alternating weeks, I speak to career transition because at the end of the day, my primary focus in life is helping burnt out teachers transition from the classroom into some other more rewarding, more fulfilling, more fun line of work. And so I am a trained and experienced, heart-centered career transition and job search coach. But I'm also certified in stress management techniques. And I'm a certified sleep science coach. So today the topic is stress. And it occurred to me this week that I don't believe that I have talked about the stress relief that one can get from coloring as an adult, coloring, especially coloring mandalas. I have offered freebies online in other capacities, but I went back and looked, and I don't think I've spoken to coloring and mandalas in the past. So if I have, forgive me, this will be a revisit. If I haven't, I think you'll enjoy learning a little bit about the stress relief that you can experience by doing a variety of activities, including coloring. So part of the reason that I think coloring helps to relieve stress is that it engages your mind in something that is totally unrelated to the events that are taking place in your life, the source of the stress in your life. You can unplug, disengage from those stressors, whether it's work, health, or a relationship. Those are usually the primary causes of stress in our lives. Finances can be a stressor. So while you are coloring, you can unplug and simply focus on the task at hand, which is taking beautifully different colored pencils or crayons, if you prefer, and coloring in the little different squares and circles and objects on the mandala to create something that is uniquely yours, because it doesn't have to be like anybody else's. And you can express yourself, but you can also, while doing it, unplug, turn off, turn away from the stress that may be going on in your life. Now, it occurs to me that mandalas are just one way that you can do that, but there's an entire body of research around the benefit of coloring. So if you don't believe me, I'm going to offer a link or two to the research that demonstrates the benefit, the stress relief benefit of coloring as an adult. And I'm also going to offer some freebie mandalas that you can download and then color at your leisure whenever you have a moment that you want to unplug from everything. The difference between unplugging and coloring and mandala, or, I mean, you could even get a coloring book if you wanted to and just color away. The difference between doing that and some other kind of stress relief is that there's something about the connection between your brain and your hand when you're engaging in the coloring. It forms a relationship between you and the object that you are coloring / creating with your colors. And it can help you to block out the stuff that's stressing you out. Now, there are other things. Like I said, it occurs to me that doing a crossword puzzle can have a similar relieving effect, as long as you don't stress yourself out over not knowing a particular word that you run across. And there are all kinds of puzzles. Crossword puzzles are just one of a variety of puzzles that you might engage in. I think you could get the same relief from, remember the days when you would have the 1,000-piece puzzles that you could spread out over the dining room table, and it was an entire family activity. My dad used to love those. You'd buy the big box, the picture of what it was supposed to look like. He liked mountains, so more often than not, he would bring home a box with puzzle pieces in it that created a vista of a mountain range. Sometimes it had snow on it, sometimes not. But he would get the puzzle started, and then the rest of us would engage in finding pieces that fit. And it became a family activity. It feels old school, but why not give it a try? It may be an activity, especially as families may still be isolated in different parts of the country, and you're not yet going out and engaging in your regular outdoor activities. It might be a good family activity. The point is to relieve your stress, at least for a moment or two, a short period of time, to give your body, your mind, your spirit a break from the worry, from the fret, from the upset, from the uncertainty. And Lord knows we've been experiencing enough uncertainty in recent months, enough unrest, enough dis-ease, if you will, not disease, but discomfort. And it can be referred to as dis-ease, which can, in fact, when gone untreated, when gone undealt with, can bring on disease. Because remember, if you've heard me speak before about the danger of not checking your stress, the danger is that it's a matter of when and not if that you will come down with some sort of illness, whether it's diabetes, which is exacerbated by stress, heart issues, hypertension, gastrointestinal issues, you name it, whatever, even certain kinds of cancer can be traced back to ongoing, unrelenting stress in your life. So take note that you owe it to yourself to find a way to relieve your stress as regularly as you can, daily if you can. You're not going to get rid of your stress. Stress is a normal, regular part of life. What isn't normal is the overbearance of stressful events that have occurred in the last few months. And our entire globe is under stress right now. Different countries have gone through coronavirus. We're experiencing coronavirus. Even as different parts of the country start to open up, the coronavirus has not gone away. We can act like it is. We can act like it's gone. It isn't. Our acting like it's gone will simply put us at greater risk. I just saw a post on Facebook this morning of a 30-year-old mom in a local hospital here in my hometown. She thought because she was 30 and healthy, she couldn't get COVID. And so guess what? She's in the hospital, not on an intubator, thank goodness, not on a ventilator, at least not yet. But she is on oxygen. She has been in the hospital for days, and who knows when she'll get out to go home to her babies at home. 30 years old and healthy. So whatever your age, whatever your particular station in life, don't lull yourself into believing that it's over, that you can go about your business now, that it's summertime and we see the protest in the street. The people who are doing the protesting are there for a righteous purpose, but they're putting themselves and others at risk by being there if they're not taking care to socially distance, if they're not wearing masks, if they're not washing their hands and sanitizing as they go about their day. There are too many people who have decided that this coronavirus thing is just all a big joke. It's somehow a media hoax. And so they're refusing to wear masks. They're refusing to take precautions. They're going about their business just like nothing's ever happened. They're putting themselves at risk. The coronavirus hasn't gone away. So we have the stress of not knowing when we will have a treatment and a vaccine for the coronavirus. And if you take it seriously, as I do, that means you don't know when you can start going about your life normally, if there ever will be something we call normal. Now, I have broken down and made an appointment to get my hair cut because you can see it needs to be cut. It's been since March. I've checked in with my hairdresser to make sure that she is taking precautions. I go to the dentist tomorrow. I know he'll be taking precautions, but still, going to the dentist is a pretty invasive activity. So I may want to come home and do some coloring myself tomorrow afternoon. We have to be on guard. We have to take the coronavirus seriously. We certainly have to take the economic uncertainty that comes along with it seriously. And we need to take the social unrest that the country's going through seriously. We have, as I said last week, a perfect storm of events that are causing all kinds of stress, all kinds of uncertainty and dis-ease. But it's up to you individually, it's up to each one of us to find ways to relieve that stress so that we don't succumb to a disease, an illness that can bring us down. And coloring is one activity that you can engage in that might help. The puzzles that I mentioned, either crossword puzzles, Sudoku, whatever kind of puzzle turns you on, playing solitaire can even, some sort of activity that doesn't require you to think, that relieves your responsibility to think for a little while. That's the purpose of these activities, to give yourself a break, a mental and emotional break while you engage in an activity that you enjoy and that can offer you some sense of freedom in the moment from all that's going on in the world. So I'll include a link to the research about how mandalas, coloring mandalas, even if you're an adult, can help to relieve your stress. I'll also include the freebie mandalas that you can try for yourself. Let me know how you enjoy it or not. Share them with your friends if you'd like. And in the meantime, stay focused on keeping yourself well in spite of these stressful times. Your number one responsibility is to stay well and to take care of yourself. And that's all I have to say today about stress management. Please have a good week. If you'd like to review this podcast so that you can help other people find it, if you find it useful, other people may also find it useful, please share, please review, please send me your thoughts, your questions, your comments. I'd love to hear from you at kittyboitnott@gmail.com. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next week.